Alrighty, welcome back to Bioshock. So now we just hacked the U-Invent station, which will allow us to get the best alternate ammo types in the game through crafting. And as I said before, basically what the U-Invent stations do is allows you to consume the component type items and create the third alternate ammo types for each weapon that we can't buy from the ammo vending machines. We can find them lying around occasionally, but they're very rare, and they're probably the most powerful ammo types for each individual weapon. Or they're just the alternate one that you'd use the least frequently, and therefore the most valuable. But the certain ammo types will require a certain mixture of components, and some will require others. So naturally, the Scrounger tonic that I picked up in the last level that I mentioned would be useful if you wanted to get a specific component and you wanted to change the loot that you get from a drop to favor the components that you wish to use to craft a certain ammo type. But on the other hand, I've found, since I've played the game 6 times now, this being my 6th run rather, that just randomly picking up loot and getting components that way is good enough. Trust me, like you'll get plenty of, I mean, just by picking up components in no linear order to get the ones you specifically want, you'll still get plenty of the ones you need to get a multitude of alternate ammo types for all the different weapons. And right now I'm doing some research on the Rosie, because I didn't get a chance to before. Or I did a little bit, I suppose. But, and the little sisters themselves. So, from now on I'll be skipping the actual picture generation and just... I'm just going to be taking maybe 3 or 4 pictures of each target and then just stopping and not even looking at what the generating picture quality is, because I screwed around and wasted a lot of time with that in the original run. So I'm going to be pressing A to skip the pictures now, because that will make combat flow much better. Now I want to wait for him to kill this splicer before I go all out on him, because I want one less threat during the battle, one more thing they can draw, they can deal some damage to him. Frag grenades are still good. The Big Daddies have not spiked in difficulty yet, but they will in the next level, but more on that when it's relevant. There's a Gatter's Guard machine right here, so this is a perfect time if I need to kill this Big Daddy and take the, there's a demonstration of the third ammo type for the shotgun, the Exploding Bug, which we got a little bit of in a previous level before we lost it to Peach. So we're gonna go harvest this seemingly innocent child and collect the max amount of Atom to get some stuff. There will be some. Not all of the stuff is available at the U-Invents right now. Right now we have the Exploding Buck, the armor-piercing auto rounds, the anti-personnel pistol rounds, and stuff like that. But later on we'll be able to get basically. Well, I'll be demonstrating it in the next level when we actually have all the weapons. But right now I want to spend my Atom because I have a tremendous amount of it. So time to equip the Scrounger. Like I said, it's not crucial, but I like it because I'm obsessed with efficiency, and I'm also a bit OCD, so it's perfect for me. But like I said, I'm not so obsessed with efficiency that I will deliberately seek out the exact components required for the particular ammo that I need. If you wanted to be that efficient, it could be really devastating. I mean, if you had like a overabundant surplus of a particular ammo type, then you could just blow through this game. But still, anyway, I want to get the elemental immunity tonics for my not really immunity but resistance, the elemental resistance tonics as well, and equip those. So I got the Human Inferno there. None of them are as good as the Static Discharge, which will obviously release the Static Discharge. But the ice one, the Frozen Field, I do like that one because that one powers up your wrench with an ice elemental attack, and I don't know if I have that yet. Actually, we'll check that out later. And for that research bonus against the Thuggish Splicer, we'll get the Sports Boost, which allows us to run faster and swing our wrench faster. And there is a very ridiculous setup that I might show off towards the end of the game, where you have all the Sport Boost and the wrench upgrades, and you swing the wrench like you're on crack. And with the Frozen Field, you can instantly hit and shatter enemies repeatedly over and over again, and it's quite funny. It's not all that good, but if you really wanted to have a very unique setup, that's kind of an amusing thing to go for. But another thing about the U-Invents, I'm going in a lot of explanation about this, so I hope you guys don't mind that I'm not talking about this level all that much, but I don't really like this level all that much, as I've said before. But And you'll see why in the next area, but I'm trying to hack this frickin' camera. I might as well just destroy it, because if I can't hack it, then I don't want it to be a threat. But, yeah, I guess it can center in on me if I hit it. But, like I was saying, the component items serve no other purpose than to be used for crafting. So, by consuming them in the crafting stations, you're not sacrificing anything useful. You're only using it for its one and only intended purpose. So you might as well.
That the land belonged to God and demanded that I establish a public park there. Why? So the rebel could stand slack-jawed under the canopy and pretend that it was paradise earned. When Congress moved to nationalize my forest, I burnt it to the ground. God did not plant the seeds of this Arcadia. I did.
If I didn't say it before, I really love Andrew Ryan's dialogue in this game. He's just, his voice actor as well is just tremendous. But very important that you hack this RPG turret down here, because you will be backtracking through this level quite a bit, especially compared to most of the levels in this game. The next level will have a lot of backtracking, but I don't mind that as much because it's sort of multiple areas spread out away from a central area. But more on that when it's more relevant. In this level, it's more so annoying. So that turret being there will help us sit through backtracking to that area. And this is where the game totally derails the plot. Yeah, to pad out the game a little bit, we have this little distraction side quest sort of thing. I guess Ryan released a toxin into the air that's going to kill the trees. So now we have to introduce an incidental character to help us reverse that process. Trying to remember to research these cameras, even though I don't really think there's all that much you can get that's good for researching the cameras. Now the turrets and the security bots, on the other hand, that's a whole different story. But I'm getting ahead of myself again. Anyway, there's another ammo vending machine over here. We haven't seen one of these in a while, so I might as well buy some ammo, even though we can honestly, I think I am conservative enough with my ammo that I could go through this entire game without ever buying any ammo from our vending machine. I could just use the ammo I find in loot. But where would be the fun in that? Plus, I have a maxed out wallet, so I might as well spend as much of it as I can by buying overpriced frag grenades.
My trees! It wasn't you, was it? No. Ryan. I think I've got a way to save the trees. It's a genetic vector that... Could you find a sample of Rosa Galaxy? Look in the grotto.
Who the hell does she think she is? Anyway, there's an interesting thing about that since I had the subtitles on. I noticed that she referred to it as Rosa Galaga. I always thought it was Rose of Galaga, and you'll understand why when you actually see this object. But, as you'll find out in the next level, the UN vents, this is basically a tutorial level for the UN vents. That's why we're going to be getting components as loot pretty much everywhere. This is a fixed encounter here with a Houdini splicer, and there's going to be a few more in this area. Ooh, we've got the natural camouflage. That was the tonic I was really wanting to get by investing in researching the Houdini splicers. Let me make sure I get the name right here. Because that'll allow us to turn invisible if we stand still for long enough, and that will be very good if we ever need to wait out any alarms. Which is not the most useful thing in the world, not necessarily as much as it sounds, but especially because I'm so good at not setting off alarms at this point in the game since I've practiced so much. But for the sake of the LP and not having to edit out a bunch of deaths while trying to evade an alarm, I could just, sit in camp and edit out the camping, so it really does help. Here's a fixed audio diary here that explains what these Houdini splicers' bizarre fixation is. Also explains their, they have an interesting style. I mean, it goes nowhere, but it still gives some interesting lore and backstory into these characters, and explains their weird bark masks. Yeah, the sonic boom, still ridiculously abusive, and it can knock their fireballs from midair back at them, even though It's probably better even than using the oh, he died. Probably even better than using the telekinesis on them, because the fireball, throwing the fireball back at them won't do that much damage, but it is a nice way of not getting hit. So these areas were not opened up previously, now they are. And anyway, like I was saying, this level is basically a tutorial level for the UN vents. That's why we're finding components everywhere. And as we'll find out in the next level, you can... Oh, I died. How about that? You can... there's certain tonics you can create from the UN vents. Not that many that are actually any good, except for the one that I've been talking about all this time, the one that allows the booze hound, the one that allows you to be consume alcohol and only profit from it. So, but I went ahead and spent the rest of my atom on getting another physical tonic there, so I could equip the camo, and I'll be inadvertently demonstrating that one the next time I stand still. It activates rather frequently, and it is actually pretty effective as you'd imagine it to be, but the fact that you can't use it to actually sneak past enemies means it's not exceptionally good. It doesn't break the game or anything like that.
If it is not tested. The market does not respond like an infant, shrieking.
You see how it does there? And after a while, you'll get used to that happening. It does kind of screw with your character's textures a little bit, but overall, it's okay. Some more of these trap bolts down here, and this is actually a rather sticky situation right here, so we got to be quick about this. I want to do some research on this turret, but priority is that I get it hacked, and while avoiding the tripwires as well. And get close enough to it to where I can hack it before the camera that's behind it sees me, and then go hack that. Yeah, I don't yet have the thing that allows me to make the Winter Blast obsolete yet, but we'll be getting that in this level sometime soon. Quickly. Yeah, that could have ended a lot worse than it did. Because you get if that alarm gets set off and you get security bots flying in here, then that'll just ruin that turret, and it'll set the tripwires off, and there'll be explosions all over the place, and it's not fun. This room brings me to mention an interesting point about this game, and that is that, or at least the character models, is that for some reason this game has a dead cat ragdoll, and it seems fascinating with just putting these dead cats randomly throughout Rapture. I mean, there's no dead dogs or anything. Why hating on cats? I mean, I'm not a cat person or anything, and I'm not upset by this, it's just weird. And it's never explained who these cats are, who they belong to, or how they died. But, this is the kind of stuff you think about when you play this game 6 times. Anyway, as I just demonstrated there, we finally have researched the turrets enough to where we can now auto-hack them by simply approaching them. And that is the obscenely broken ability that I've wanted to have for so long. So there's quite a few audio diaries around here, and we also picked up the Rosa Galaga, which is clearly a rose. So, hence my thinking it was called the Rose of Galaga instead of the Rosa Galaga. I'm gonna wait for this one to finish before I pick up the other one.
Gregory, don't come wanting to
down here is something really unique, and it's actually a flamethrower turret, so we're gonna... I might research that a little, but I can pretty much just ignore it. It's not really a threat to me.
Well, I suggest you find a way to offer a better product.